answering the question of whether a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, receptacle can be installed on a circuit already protected by an arc fault circuit interrupter, or AFCI breaker. The answer is yes. This combination generally presents no problems and can offer enhanced electrical safety. An AFCI breaker's primary function is to protect against arc faults, which are dangerous electrical arcs that can ignite fires. These breakers are designed to detect and interrupt these arcs, preventing potential fire hazards. However, AFCI breakers do not provide ground fault protection. A ground fault occurs when electricity flows through an unintended path, such as through a person's body to the ground. This is where GFCI receptacles come into play. GFCI receptacles are specifically designed to detect and interrupt these ground faults, protecting individuals from electric shock. They monitor the current flowing into and out of a circuit, and if there's a difference, indicating a leakage of current, the GFCI trips, quickly cutting off power to prevent injury. The combination of AFCI breakers and GFCI receptacles is complementary. The AFCI breaker guards against electrical fires caused by arc faults, while the GFCI receptacle protects against electric shock from ground faults. Together, they provide a comprehensive safety net. Consider a scenario where a GFCI receptacle is installed on an outside outlet at the end of a long run to a bedroom, with the circuit fed by an AFCI breaker. This setup is practical for several reasons. Firstly, cost savings. A GFCI receptacle is typically less expensive than an AFCI GFCI breaker, making it a more economical option for ground fault protection in specific locations. Secondly, convenience. GFCI receptacles are generally easier to install and replace compared to AFCI breakers, which may require more extensive wiring changes. Thirdly, flexibility. GFCI receptacles can be readily installed in existing electrical boxes, providing a convenient solution for adding ground fault protection without major electrical work. When installing electrical devices, it's always crucial to adhere to the manufacturer's instructions and local electrical codes. However, there are typically no inherent issues with installing a GFCI receptacle on a circuit protected by an AFCI breaker. To delve deeper into the technical aspects, let's explore the specifications and standards governing these devices. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, outlines requirements for AFCI and GFCI protection in various locations. For example, the NEC requires AFCI protection for branch circuits that supply outlets or devices installed in dwelling units, with specific exceptions outlined in the code. GFCI protection is required in locations where electrical equipment is likely to come into contact with water, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. Understanding the different types of AFCI breakers is also essential. There are branch circuit AFCI breakers, which protect the entire branch circuit, and combination AFCI breakers, which offer both branch circuit and outlet circuit protection. The selection of the appropriate AFCI breaker depends on the specific application and the requirements of the local electrical code. GFCI receptacles are available in various configurations, including standard receptacles, dead front GFCIs, and portable GFCIs. Standard GFCI receptacles replace existing receptacles and provide ground fault protection at that specific location. Dead front GFCIs are used to protect multiple outlets downstream from the GFCI device. Portable GFCIs are convenient for temporary applications, such as construction sites or outdoor events. When installing a GFCI receptacle, it's crucial to follow the manufacturer's wiring instructions carefully. Typically, the incoming power wires are connected to the line terminals, while the outgoing wires to other outlets are connected to the load terminals. If the wiring is incorrect, the GFCI receptacle will not function properly. To test a GFCI receptacle, press the test button on the device. This should trip the GFCI, cutting off power to the receptacle. To restore power, press the reset button. If the GFCI does not trip when the test button is pressed, it may be faulty and should be replaced. Troubleshooting nuisance tripping is a common concern with GFCI receptacles. Nuisance tripping occurs when the GFCI trips even though there is no apparent ground fault. This can be caused by several factors, including faulty wiring, damaged appliances, or excessive leakage current in the circuit. To troubleshoot nuisance tripping, firstly, inspect the wiring for any loose connections or damaged insulation. Secondly, unplug all appliances connected to the circuit and test the GFCI again. If the GFCI does not trip with all appliances unplugged, plug them back in one at a time to identify the appliance causing the problem. Thirdly, consider the age and condition of the wiring. Older wiring may have degraded insulation, leading to increased leakage current. In some cases, replacing the wiring may be necessary to resolve nuisance tripping. It's also important to differentiate between AFCI and GFCI protection. AFCI breakers detect arc faults, which are characterized by erratic, high-impedance currents. These arcs can occur due to damaged wiring, loose connections, or faulty appliances. GFCI receptacles, on the other hand, detect ground faults, which are characterized by a leakage of current to ground. While both AFCI and GFCI devices protect against electrical hazards, they address different types of faults. The NEC specifies where AFCI and GFCI protection are required. AFCI protection is generally required in dwelling units, while GFCI protection is required in locations where electrical equipment is likely to come into contact with water. However, there may be specific exceptions and requirements depending on the local electrical code. For example, the NEC Table 210.8 provides detailed requirements for GFCI protection in various locations. Understanding the coordination between AFCI and GFCI devices is also important. In some cases, an AFCI breaker may trip due to ground fault even though it is not designed to provide ground fault protection. This can occur if the ground fault current is high enough to cause the AFCI breaker to trip. However, in most cases, the GFCI receptacle will trip before the AFCI breaker, providing faster and more reliable ground fault protection. When selecting AFCI and GFCI devices, it's important to consider the amperage rating of the circuit. The AFCI breaker and GFCI receptacle should be rated for the same amperage as the circuit. For example, a 15 amp circuit should have a 15 amp AFCI breaker and a 15 amp GFCI receptacle. Using devices with different amperage ratings can create a safety hazard. It's also important to consider the voltage rating of the devices. In North America, most residential circuits are either 120 volts or 240 volts. The AFCI breaker and GFCI receptacle should be rated for the same voltage as the circuit. Using devices with different voltage ratings can damage the devices or create a safety hazard. When installing AFCI and GFCI devices, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The instructions will provide detailed information on wiring, testing, and troubleshooting. Failure to follow the instructions can result in improper installation and potential safety hazards. It's also important to use appropriate wiring methods when installing AFCI and GFCI devices. The wiring should be properly sized for the amperage of the circuit and should be installed in accordance with the NEC. Using undersized wiring or improper wiring methods can create a fire hazard. In addition to AFCI breakers and GFCI receptacles, there are other types of electrical safety devices available, such as surge protectors and arc fault circuit interrupter receptacles. Surge protectors protect against voltage spikes that can damage electronic equipment. Arc fault circuit interrupter receptacles provide arc fault protection at the receptacle location. These devices can provide additional layers of protection against electrical hazards. When selecting electrical safety devices, it's important to consider the specific needs of the application. For example, a home with sensitive electronic equipment may benefit from surge protection, while a home with older wiring may benefit from arc fault circuit interrupter receptacles. Consulting with a qualified electrician can help determine the best electrical safety devices for a particular situation. Maintaining electrical safety is an ongoing process. It's important to regularly inspect electrical wiring, appliances, and devices for any signs of damage or wear. Damaged wiring or appliances should be repaired or replaced promptly. It's also important to avoid overloading electrical circuits. Overloading can cause the wiring to overheat, increasing the risk of fire. Using extension cords sparingly and avoiding the use of multiple appliances on the same circuit can help prevent overloading. Finally, it's important to educate yourself and others about electrical safety. Understanding the risks associated with electricity and how to prevent electrical hazards can help protect yourself and your family. Taking a course in electrical safety or consulting with a qualified electrician can provide valuable information and guidance. In summary, installing a GFCI receptacle on a circuit protected by an AFCI breaker is generally safe and can provide enhanced electrical protection. AFCI breakers protect against arc faults, while GFCI receptacles protect against ground faults. Together, they provide a comprehensive safety net against electrical hazards. Following the manufacturer's instructions and local electrical codes is essential when installing electrical devices. Regular inspection and maintenance of electrical wiring, appliances, and devices are also crucial for maintaining electrical safety. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous if not performed properly. Proper grounding is crucial for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, allowing the circuit breaker or fuse to trip and to energize the circuit. Without proper grounding, fault current can flow through unintended paths, such as through a person's body, causing electric shock. The NEC requires grounding for most electrical systems. The grounding system typically consists of a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe, connected to the electrical panel. All metal enclosures and equipment are then connected to the grounding system. Regular testing of the grounding system is important to ensure that it is functioning properly. A ground resistance tester can be used to measure the resistance of the grounding system. A low resistance indicates a good ground connection, while a high resistance indicates a poor ground connection. If the grounding system is not functioning properly, it should be repaired or replaced promptly. Bonding is another important aspect of electrical safety. Bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a continuous electrical path. This helps to prevent voltage differences between metal parts, which can cause electric shock. The NEC requires bonding for various metal parts, such as metal water pipes, metal gas pipes, and metal building frames. Bonding is typically accomplished by using bonding jumpers, which are short lengths of wire that connect the metal parts together. Regular inspection of bonding connections is important to ensure that they are intact and functioning properly. If any bonding connections are loose or corroded, they should be tightened or replaced. Overcurrent protection is essential for preventing electrical fires. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to trip and energize a circuit when the current exceeds a safe level. This helps to prevent the wiring from overheating and causing a fire. The NEC requires overcurrent protection for all electrical circuits. The size of the overcurrent protection device should be appropriate for the amperage of the circuit. Using an overcurrent protection device that is too large can allow the wiring to overheat and cause a fire. Regular testing of overcurrent protection devices is important to ensure that they are functioning properly. Circuit breakers can be tested by manually tripping them. Fuses can be tested by using a continuity tester. If an overcurrent protection device is not functioning properly, it should be replaced promptly. Proper wiring methods are crucial for electrical safety. The NEC specifies various wiring methods that are acceptable for different applications. These wiring methods are designed to ensure that the wiring is properly protected from damage and that it is installed in a safe manner. Some common wiring methods include rigid metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, non-metallic conduit, and cable. The choice of wiring method depends on the specific application and the requirements of the local electrical code. Improper wiring methods can create a fire hazard or an electric shock hazard. It's important to follow the NEC and the manufacturer's instructions when installing electrical wiring. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone should be aware of the risks associated with electricity and how to prevent electrical hazards. Taking simple precautions, such as avoiding contact with water while using electrical appliances and never overloading electrical circuits, can help to prevent accidents. Educating children about electrical safety is also important. Children should be taught to stay away from electrical outlets and appliances and to never touch electrical wiring. By working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. In addition to the above, consider these points. Firstly, arc fault circuit interrupters, or AFCIs, are designed to protect against fires caused by arc faults. Arc faults are unintentional electrical discharges that can occur in damaged or deteriorated wiring. AFCIs work by detecting the unique electrical signature of an arc fault and tripping the circuit breaker to cut off the power. Secondly, ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are designed to protect against electric shock caused by ground faults. Ground faults occur when electricity flows through an unintended path, such as through a person's body. GFCIs work by detecting the imbalance in current between the hot and neutral wires and tripping the circuit to cut off the power. Thirdly, AFCIs and GFCIs provide different types of protection and are often required in different locations. AFCIs are typically required in bedrooms, living rooms, and other areas where people spend a lot of time. GFCIs are typically required in bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas where there is a risk of water exposure. Fourthly, it is possible to install a GFCI receptacle on a circuit that is already protected by an AFCI breaker. This can provide an extra layer of protection against electric shock in areas where GFCIs are required. Fifthly, when installing a GFCI receptacle on an AFCI protected circuit, it is important to ensure that the GFCI receptacle is compatible with the AFCI breaker. Some older GFCI receptacles may not work properly with AFCI breakers. Consult the manufacturer's instructions for both the GFCI receptacle and the AFCI breaker to ensure compatibility. Sixthly, nuisance tripping can sometimes occur when a GFCI receptacle is installed on an AFCI protected circuit. This is usually caused by electrical noise or other interference on the circuit. If nuisance tripping occurs, try replacing the GFCI receptacle with a newer model that is less susceptible to interference. Seventhly, if you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to install AFCIs and GFCIs. The electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to ensure that it is done safely and correctly. Eighthly, it is important to regularly test AFCIs and GFCIs to ensure that they are working properly. AFCIs can be tested by pressing the test button on the breaker. GFCIs can be tested by pressing the test button on the receptacle. If the device does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced. Ninthly, electrical codes and regulations vary depending on the location. It is important to consult the local electrical code to ensure that AFCIs and GFCIs are installed in accordance with the regulations. Tenthly, proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Ensure that all electrical outlets and appliances are properly grounded. A ground fault can occur if an appliance is not properly grounded. Remember to always prioritize electrical safety. If you have any questions or concerns, consult with a qualified electrician. Always turn off the power before working on any electrical wiring or appliances. Use caution and be aware of the potential hazards. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure that your home is electrically safe.